As she began to dig through his things, he thought about how accepting her here went against all proper etiquette and rules, but wondered why it felt alright if it was her. She noticed he was still soaking wet and asked if he was going to change clothes. He was a little startled, responding it was rude to leave a guest alone, and she giggled over his good manners and shoved him off. She thought he was such a cute boy. Looking at all these books, she thought about how he was a little awkward, perhaps reserved, because he likes to study. It was at the tip of her tongue until she guessed the word to describe him. And aha! She realized he was a total nerd! She then discovered a foul-smelling concoction and nearly dropped it. That's when the boy returned, coldly asking what she was doing and giving a serious glare. She gulped, hoping he wasn't too mad. She tried pleading for forgiveness, but he had no idea what she was sorry for. He just brought some cookies they could eat together, and she was so happy. These were the yummiest cookies she ever tasted. The two began to chat, and turns out the boy moved to the village 4 days ago. He flinched, with her pointing out that this spot was a really empty lot before, but he just played it off, saying this house had been here since he arrived. She asked about his books, and at first, he just explained they were on philosophy, then began to ramble and blathered limitlessly about the concepts of metaphysical essentialism, the difference in perception between subject and object, and transcendental ontology. Lucette chuckled, because him speaking on his vast amount of knowledge and focus on his interest put him in his own world. He then started to cough, causing her concern, but he'd mend his ailment by chugging the gross-smelling medicine that apparently only worked for him. She wondered what kind of illness he had to take such potent medicine, but didn't want to be too nosy. She suddenly hurried off back home, making him wonder if he did something wrong. Did he talk too much? Was it the coughing, or did she notice the strangeness of this place? His Highness remembered Labdanum, telling him that no one must learn of his identity, and that they'd cast a brainwashing spell on the village to protect him. If an exception showed up, no matter who it was, they'd have to disappear. It was strange, being condemned, ignored, and abandoned for having red eyes. He was fine with it all, because he was used to it. But why did he feel so lonely now? Then suddenly, he heard banging at his door. Lucette returned, bringing her mom's mushroom stew. She didn't want him to get heartburn taking medicine on an empty stomach. He enjoyed the delicious soup, and finally learning her name and seeing her smile bright like an angel, his heart started thumping. He told her his name was Levinus, and that she could call him Lev for short. From that day, they became friends, and his house became their private hideout.